I don't know why they're doing it because I don't know them personally. I don't know them personally. They're doing it. I don't. You have to ask them. All I'm saying is that it's, I have here in front of me, I've got in my hand right now, um, let me get it, um, a review of the science relevant to COVID-19 social policy and the study of masks. This is a peer-reviewed study of how after 5 seconds after you put on a mask, the oxygen levels in the body reach danger levels. It's a scientifically reviewed peer study. I've got it in my hand right now. 5 seconds after you put on a mask, your body reaches the danger levels for oxygen intake. 5 seconds. I've got it in my hand right now. Anybody can get it. Anybody can go online and read it. The state of hypoxia, which is disease caused by lack of oxygen in the body, begins 5 seconds after you put a mask on. I've got the study right here in my hand. 5 seconds. Now, anybody who wants to prove me wrong can go out and they can buy an official oxygen level meter reading, which you can get from any website that sells environmental equipment, and you can test it. And you'll find that I'm right. 5 seconds. It takes 5 seconds to reach dangerous levels of oxygen intake. You don't have enough oxygen in your body after 5 seconds of putting on a mask. You get sick. It's just a fact. I challenge anybody in the world to prove me wrong. They can't, because I know I'm right. Not only have I got the study and read it, I've also done the research and I've watched the videos that prove it. And if somebody didn't believe me, I would go out and I would buy one of the machines myself and I would make a little video of it, but there's no point because other people have done it. Medical literature. I've got a list here of medical literature that supports this. Jacobs, J.L. et al., 2009, NCBI, Cowling, B. et al., 2010 study, and on and on and on and on and on. People are lazy. People are lazy. They expect other people to do the work for them. Look at Western culture. Britain has a problem with obesity, too many fat people. America has a problem with obesity, too many fat people, right?
Yeah.
Now, this is not just a physical problem, this is a mental problem. The people are lazy. They expect other people to do everything for them. People don't do the research, they don't study, they don't do the background work. Everything is given to them on a plate. They take it for granted. They don't do the work. That's why. You want an answer? That's my answer. My answer is that people are fat. People are fat in their head. People are fat. They're lazy. They don't do the study. They don't do the research that they need to do. Now, it happens from time to time that I research something and I put out an idea and maybe I get something wrong, but that doesn't bother me because I correct my mistakes. Yeah? Doesn't bother me. I correct my mistakes. Where I'm wrong, I say, I'm sorry, I'm wrong, I made a mistake. Because just like you say in Slovakia, only people doing things can make mistakes. Only people doing things can make mistakes. Those people doing nothing, they don't go anywhere. Yeah, it's safe to do nothing, but you don't learn anything that way. You don't learn anything at all. So, people are, anybody who sits down and expects the media to present them with everything which is completely true is an idiot in the modern world. You don't know these people. You don't know where the information came from. I mean, trust is good. Trust is good. Remember, the Titanic was safe, and everybody got on, and it fucking sank. Okay, there's your trust. You better check things for yourself, right? Hey, so would you buy a second-hand car from a second-hand car showroom? Would you buy a second-hand car? No, because you don't fucking trust the people, right? They turn the clock back to say the miles are less than it is. They try to hide all the mistakes in the car. They try to hide all the previous owners. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? I'm not wrong. These are people who live in the same town as other people. And they try to trick people and fool people every day. You think the media is any better than a used car? You know, how many articles in the media, how many programs on television about health and nutrition and vitamins and all the important elements, how many educational programs like that? No, let's just put out more Scooby-Doo cartoons and more bullshit soap operas telling novella rubbish to fill people's heads up with nonsense. It's crazy. We could help each other. People expect the media to tell the truth. People in your own town don't tell you the truth. The neighbors don't tell you the truth. Your family members probably don't tell you the truth. But you think the media is going to tell you the truth? Am I wrong? It's you work in an industry which is very, very special because your industry needs science, right? Your industry needs studies. Your industry needs data. Your industry needs verification. Your industry needs fact. That's really, really special. And in industries like your industry, that's what holds everything together. Because if we didn't have that method of that system, we would have this like the media where everybody trusts everybody but nobody checks everything. You know what happens when nobody checks? You know what happens in your company when nobody checks what people do? It breaks down, right? When was the last time you checked to see whether the story in the newspaper was true? When was the last time you checked to see whether the news report on TV was true? Right? The people you work with, you can't even trust. Right? Right? If we can't trust the people we know, why do we trust the people we don't know? I mean, we've got to raise our game as people. We've got to elevate our skills to a higher level. We've got to ask the difficult questions, not just of other people, but also of ourselves as well. Listen to this. The Commissioner's Court of the County of Texas explains how they create the revised data statistics for COVID-19. The new statistics for COVID-19 allow probable cases or cases labeled as probable to be counted as confirmed cases. So if you think that somebody might have the virus, it gets counted as a fact that they have the virus. That's the official method of counting, and that's from their own documents. That's the official method of counting, which is if you think somebody has it, or you think somebody has been in contact with somebody who you think has it, you can count it. These are the official statistics. That's how they're counted. Basically, you create any number that you want, any number at all, and that is what it is. That's the official way that it's done. It sounds crazy because it is crazy, because they know that people don't check. The official site for CDC, the Center for Disease Control.gov in the United States, I'm on that website right now. I'm going to read you exactly what it says. A positive test result for COVID-19 shows you might have antibodies from an infection. Might have antibodies from an infection with the virus that causes COVID-19, not COVID-19, the virus that causes COVID-19. However, there is a chance that a positive result means that you have antibodies from an infection with a virus from the same family of viruses, such as the common cold. If you have had a cold in the last 20 years, you will test positive for coronavirus. That's the official Center for Disease Control webpage. It's not scientific. It has never been scientific. And this is the world that we have to navigate now. We have to understand. Here's the key point from what I said. If people in your own family will tell you things that are not true, and I think everybody's had an experience like that, people in your own family will tell you things that are not true, how can you trust the media?
Yeah.
How can you trust the media? Because we do the best that we can. There are honest mistakes, right? People report things and then they go, oh, no, I'm sorry, I got it wrong. And that's life and that happens. And so we've got to realize that most people, we're just too busy with our own lives to check that everything is real or everything is exactly the way that we are told that it is. That there's for my entire adult life, there's been some mysterious enemy out to get us. First it was the environment was going to collapse, and then it was terrorists, and now it's a disease. The media have done nothing but pump out information, some of which is correct, and some of which is really important for us to understand. But what about weed killer? The weed killer that people use in their garden, glyphosate. What's the name of that weed killer? I can't remember. That causes cancer, 100%. What about Johnson's & Johnson's? Johnson's & Johnson's put asbestos in their baby powder. Do you know that? Do you know that?
No.
Johnson & Johnson put asbestos in their baby powder for 20 years. And they knew it. You go and check it. The court documents were released this year. Just put into Google, Johnson & Johnson found guilty in court of putting asbestos in their baby powder. They did it for 20 years. And you know what? It caused cancer in children. Thank you very much, Johnson. Oh, by the way, Johnson & Johnson's are making a vaccine for COVID. The same people that poisoned children with their baby powder by putting asbestos in it. Knowingly. They knew it was in there. They put it in there on purpose. Right? That's trust. Trust but verify. We all know trust but verify. We all know that we have to check whether or not the information is actually real. Like we were told, for all my childhood, the media was, the sun will give you cancer. Actually, the truth is, if you get a really, really good amount of sun, you're very much protected from cancer, right? What does make cancer is the sun cream that you put on, right? The sun cream has a lot of chemicals in it that can actually give you cancer, right? We were told diet products are healthy. Have Diet Coke, have this diet food, don't eat fats. Well, it turns out that the diet products actually make you sick and that fats are good for the brain. It's not true. So, we were told that, right? We were told brush your teeth with fluoride toothpaste. Well, fluoride causes cancer, right? You never brush your teeth with fluoride because it causes cancer. That's just a fact. Yeah. I was given, hey, students in my school were given fluoride pills. We were given pills of fluoride when I went to school. Pills of fluoride given to us by our teachers and our doctors. Right? Right? And we have to be just a little bit more, because here's my final point, right? I could give you 10, I could give you 100 doctors questioning it. I could give you all the background on it, but it's not important because when you don't have facts, you have a belief, right? Is there a God? I don't know. Some people believe there is. Maybe there is. I don't know. But when you don't have facts, you have a belief. Does that make sense? When you don't have facts, you have a belief.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, right. When you don't have facts, you have a belief. Belief is religion. Religion. That's what religion is. Religion is a
Yes.
belief. Yeah. So if you don't have facts, you have a religion. Any system that is not based on facts, any system that is not based on science is a religion. It's a religion. If you don't check the media to see if the information is true or not, it's a religion. It's a religion. It's a belief system. It's not a science. It's a belief system. And the world is full of religions. For some people, media is a religion. For some people, football is a religion.
Yeah.
Right? It's how we are as human beings. For me personally, music is a religion for me. I believe that the right kind of music makes me feel better. And there's some science behind how music is helpful to people as well. But I believe that it makes me feel better. So that's part of a religion for me. We have to be more studious and more careful about the information that we put into our head, because eventually we're going to ask ourselves, we're all going to ask ourselves the same question. And the question is, how did I get here? How did I get here? And I got here because of the thinking in my head, my mindset. I got here because I filled my mind with a certain type of information, a certain kind of information. And the place where we're going might be a good place, might be a bad place. I don't know. It's different for everybody. But we're all going to ask ourselves, how did I get here? And it's the quality of the information that we put into our head and our ability to ask questions, and the right questions, that help us. Exactly the same thing that you did last week when you told me that you had a problem and you were working on trying to solve the problem, and you asked different people what they thought. What do you think? What would you do? And you got feedback from different people. And that's what we need to do more of. is look around, and everybody's when when people are scared, logic disappears, right? When people are scared, logic disappears. It just people will do, it's happened to me in my life. I've seen it happen to other people as well. When people are scared, they will do whatever they think is okay to survive. And in this present scenario that we live in right now, everybody is doing what they need to do to survive. Because it's war. Businesses are collapsing. Economies are collapsing. Huge unemployment. Problems with distribution. It's war. It's a big economic war, and it's going to be difficult it's not going to get better very quickly. Okay, it's going to be difficult for 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the line right now. And we have to be mentally ready for it, and mentally understand that because it's war, people are scared, and because people are scared, they'll do whatever they're told to do. Doesn't matter if you're a politician or you work in as a waiter or waitress in a restaurant. When the boss says you have to do this, you do it. You don't question, because what's the alternative? No job? I mean, that's crazy, right? That's crazy. Nobody wants to be in that kind of situation. And it's going to get more difficult because it's going to be harder to know who is telling the truth. This is what we're entering right now. Sort of mentally, this whole situation where we're going to do business with people, and the people are desperate for success. They'll do whatever it takes to make something work. Now that can be good because you can really, really, really have great success, but it can also be bad because people will be very bad to each other in that kind of situation. So we have to be aware of the environment that's created, and that's an environment of fear created by information which is not scientific, which is dangerous. It's dangerous for how we live our lives. It's dangerous for Western business and Western economy. It's dangerous because of how the human body is, because we need physical contact with people, and people are saying you can't have physical contact. You can't be close to people. Look, what's the best way to build trust? The best way to build trust is to be in the same physical space as another person. Right, to be in a room, to breathe the same air, to look into their eyes, to ask them questions. If we don't have that ability, things are going to get really complicated, really difficult. And so that's the world that we live in. We live in a world where people are scared, where people are told to stay at home. So they don't question it, they stay at home. People are told to stand in a line. Okay, so stand in line. People are told to wear a mask. Wear a mask or you don't have a job. Okay, I'll wear a mask. Don't want to not have a job. People are told, don't go out. Only go out when you're told to go out. Like in Britain, you can't leave Leicester City. You can't go out of the city. They just stop people leaving the city. It's crazy. But people just go, okay, because I don't want to have a problem with the police. Hey, I can get on a plane with 300 people I don't know, but my neighbor can't come to my flat? Do you understand that? I can get on a plane with 300 people I don't know, but my neighbor can't come to my flat? This is the world that we live in. This is it. It is madness. It is madness, and it's hard to navigate through it, and it's harder because it's hard to navigate through it. We accept what the media says because it's the easy path. The easy path is like they're experts. They know what they're talking about. They've done the study. They've done the research. I I believe them. But they're doing a job just like everybody else is doing a job, where they're scared. And I think that I think the better way for us as people to go forward is always to understand that difficulty and to try to study, to try to look for information, to try to ask questions. Look, I know that when the wine says um, it's from France, like I hope it's from France. I mean, like 10%, 10%, one in every 10 food products is not what it says it is. It's not what it says. One in every 10 is not what it says it is. This is the world we live in. we, we've got to be better at listening and understanding the information that's put out, which is why I have a 55-hour presentation on the internet collecting all of the or as much of the scientific data that I can find, because there's always more. There's always more. And sometimes the media is perfectly correct with what it puts out, but sometimes it's not. It's just the way that it is.